It is August 15th, 2017. You are back with another edition of Primetime Talk with the fellas, starring yours truly, Martez Jackson, and a gentleman alongside of me. Fellas, introduce yourself, starting to my left.
You got your boy Melvin Bennett, a.k.a. Mailman, a.k.a. Mr. No Filter. I don't care what you think.
Hey, what up, though? What's cracking, homie? This your boy, Funny Man Flavor Kool-Aid, representing that 7 Mile 313 Belle Isle. What up, though?
He ain't never been staying on 7 Mile in his life.
I know, man. I drive down it, though. I drive down it sometimes, man.
Yeah,
real slow.
I think we've all driven down 7 Mile at some point, east side, west
No,
side.
not east 7 Mile.
No,
not east
we
7
didn't
Mile.
go that way.
Don't do that.
I'm from the east side.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm from the east side.
It's your fault.
But you ever notice, like,
No, we didn't. We didn't notice nothing on the east side. We didn't notice.
90% of the women that stay off of 7 Mile, east or west, are nice looking. I have never dated a girl east side or west side.
You said east 7 Mile?
Yeah, east 7 Mile.
Like, how far east? When you say what street you go to?
Yeah.
Like, where you stop at? You know, you.
For those of y'all that don't know, those people watching, especially people outside of Detroit, 7 Mile, obviously, is a mile south of 8 Mile. Everybody's familiar with the movie. 8 Mile is the dividing line from Detroit and a bunch of other cities. But 7 Mile is the one that run through the city of Detroit, and it's like a hot spot. It used to be a strip. Like, if you from Cali, it was like Crenshaw.
Yeah, what up,
You
though?
know, we used to, but the police shut all that down. Like, we used to really sit on 7 Mile, go to the restaurants of Coney Islands, and people would drive up and down, car shows. The Corvette Club used to shut it down. Shout out to them. I always wanted one, but
Man, we talking about the women. What
Yeah, he
the
gonna
women?
talk car.
West 7 Mile women.
What about the ugly? Go ahead.
Yeah, the women on West 7 Mile was yeah.
Now, you know what? These guys are both from the west side of Detroit. I'm from the east side of Detroit, and we always got this thing. I don't know if this happens in any other town, but we used to have fun trying to date girls from the other parts of town. Like, I'm from the east side, and I'll be totally honest. The area they talking about, West 7 Mile, that's northwest Detroit, northwest side of Detroit. That covered what schools? Henry Ford, some of Redford, right? If you stayed that far west.
Over there to Grand River,
Mumford. And those schools, shout out to y'all, had some beautiful sack-chasing women back in them 80s and 90s.
Well,
y'all was looking for a dope boy back then.
Shout out to Osborne and Kettering and all them, because y'all women was burning. Straight up, gonorrhea all day.
You ain't going to talk about my east side queens like that. You ain't going to do that.
You get the king crabs.
But we do want to welcome y'all back for another edition of Primetime Talk with the fellas. First of all, shout out to our super producer, Marquise Heron, in the building. You guys can't see him because he's back there. Back there working the boards. But you shut up. Both of y'all, man. It's been a fun week, man. First of all, I got a shout out to the Beecher Business District in Flint, Michigan, north side of Flint. They had me out for this beautiful jazz festival, man. The whole community came out. And I don't know if this ever happened to y'all, but you ever perform at an outside function like a festival or something? And it's a lot of people out there, but when you performing, it's only that little group in the front that listen to you. So you got to get them, and you be killing them, but everybody else be doing their own thing.
They're going to get that barbecue.
Right. So shout out to them, man. The pay was nice. They was on time with the checks and the payment, and it was a beautiful event. Where was you at this weekend, man?
Man, I ended up doing 2 shows. I forgot which day, though. I ended up doing a birthday gig. They called me at the last minute, and it was for a young lady. I think her name was Leah. Happy 50th birthday, Leah. It was cool, man. My man.
Was it a banquet? Was it a banquet?
Yeah, it was kind of late. Yeah, and Pastor Wayne T. Jackson came in there, man. Bishop Wayne T. Jackson came in there.
Did he take a
Rolls
collection?
Royce. No, man. No, I was. And Pastor, if you look on the side of the Rolls Royce, there was a key. I was a little jealous, so I ran my key across the car. Rolls Royce. Yeah, it's a silver little line with an M at the end.
Wayne T. Jackson got a Rolls Royce?
Big one. He got the big boy.
And that ain't even from being a pastor. He owned the biggent Gator shoe store in the city of Detroit.
Yeah, he did his thing. And then I actually
shoes.
Then I left that gig, and then I went over to Henry Ford's 30-year reunion. Henry Ford 30 year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
what was it at?
It was at the Western Hotel in Southfield.
Henry Ford's 30 year.
Yeah, it was at 30. I think it was 30.
Yeah, it had to be 30. Shout out to I think Hannah and a few other people. My girl Hannah Flack graduated from there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they my ex mom actually booked me for the show. Yeah, she's married to Greg Kelson. You know, big,
okay,
yeah,
okay, that's what's up.
So he was
got
there.
Some money.
Yeah, you know,
Where was you at this weekend, Cool?
Hey, this weekend was the weekend I do my monthly shows. Saturday night was Next Gaslight, 2 shows.
Oh, that'd be slapping. So
yeah, it was a real nice turnout. Happy with the turnout. City of Detroit, appreciate y'all. We're doing it every month. Next month, my birthday show, September 16th. We'll talk about that.
No,
but
who you bringing in? Oh, you ain't decided.
Brooklyn Mike and Bill Hill. But we got like 5 weeks to talk about that. Mm-hmm. But I did that, and then I went to Lansing on Sunday with the same 2 people, Esau McGraw and Marianne DeMoss. 2 funny comics. They both turned it out.
Oh yeah,
awesome turnout. Look forward to the next one, y'all. Appreciate it.
Well, that's what's up.
That's where we at. And for any shout out to all the Leos out there. I'm still celebrating my birthday. Ladies, I stole the idea from y'all. Y'all celebrate all month, so I'm celebrating all month.
Yeah, that's because they ladies. Yeah.
And you know, it's great. You right. And they get to get gifts, and goofy dudes to get them a gift. Their birthday on the 1st, and goofy dudes still, well, you want to buy a drink? I know it's the 23rd.
Why you talking? Why that ain't goofy, man. I do that.
Still,
I do that. I buy women gifts when they celebrate all month. You know what I'm saying?
On the 23rd?
Yeah, let a woman.
It was on the 1st?
Yeah, let a woman be a woman, man. Come on, man.
Maybe I'm dry hating because it's the 15th, and my birthday was on the 7th, and I ain't got a gift since the 8th. So
that's your fault.
Yeah, that's your fault.
Hating a little bit.
It's your fault, man.
Maybe because I'm committed to one woman.
You're not gonna get on here and lie.
Yeah.
Never. You gonna put me out there like that?
Let me stop. My man committed to his girl. He love him wife.
He love his girlfriend and his wife.
He don't work.
That's her calling.
Already got the call. Here you go.
All right, we got a caller on there.
Call, baby. Don't turn nobody down.
Hey, the producer look like, you want to take the call? I'm gonna get you a talk.
Caller, welcome to Prime Time Talk with the fellas. What's going on?
Yes, this is Lottie Ellington.
Okay, caller.
Caller, are you there?
You say what? Our speakers up.
Caller, you there?
I'm here.
What's going on? You on with Prime Time Talk with the fellas with Kool-Aid, Melvin, and Martez. What's going on?
What's happening?
Oh, this is Lottie.
Oh, what's going on? I need you to call back, actually. Well, no, you know what? We
told you he was cheating on his wife.
No, actually, we experienced some technical difficulties, so it took us a minute to get online. So, Lottie, if we could put you on hold, or you could give us a call back at 8:45, we appreciate that. Just call back for me at 8:45.
All right, I'll call back at 8:45.
All right, thank you, sweetheart. That's one of our special guests today. Before we get into our guests and our topic, I actually wanted to recap the week. We told y'all what we was doing, things we had going on personally, but a few things happened in the news this week. Of course, they still going in on Colin Kaepernick and now Marshawn Lynch, which I don't know why they're going in on him. He never stands for.
Yeah, he always sit down.
Yeah, he never stands, but people just want to attach him to the whole thing. Also, though, more recent and to me more detrimental, Charlottesville, Virginia. The Klan got the tiki torches. Well, I don't want to call them the Klan.
Yeah, you can't call them the Klan, man.
White supremacist group walked through the University of Virginia in Charlottesville, Virginia, with tiki torches, screaming chants and slogans that are tied to white supremacist groups. And unfortunately, a young lady who was actually white herself, but was on the good side of that, fighting them, lost her life because a 20-year-old idiot jumped in his car and plowed through the crowd or whatever. And of course they're hiring lawyers and saying he was trying to defend himself because he was attacked, so he pulled off, so rest in peace to that young lady.
That's his defense, that he was trying to defend himself.
Yeah, they now starting to say that he was being attacked, so he jumped in the car and sped off. That's what they're trying to say now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's not gonna hold up in court.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not with all the video footage they got out. But you never know with the system, the justice system where it is now. It could be like he was traumatized. Like we only saw him plowing into the crowd. Like they didn't show what happened before that. So
I read an article that said we're actually giving them more attention by talking about them all the time versus what they did.
But if we didn't talk about it, would the narrative be, oh, they not putting this on the news? You know what I'm saying? Would it be like, they not putting this on the news? Why they ain't talking about this? This need to be on the news. Yeah. So it's like a double-edged sword. If we don't talk about it, they don't get no attention. But then if We don't talk about it today, but why we ain't talking about
we
this?
talk
Why we
about it?
making
Why we
this
not
an
bringing it
issue?
up, right.
Yeah.
And her name was Heather Heyer. Shout out to Heather Heyer. Forgive me for that. Super producer Marquise, he was a 4.0 student. He knows how to pronounce
No, he
these
wasn't
words.
4.0, 3.8.
Yeah.
3.8?
Yeah.
Oh, because he went to gym. He got that.
Yeah,
at one time.
Well, my man, if that's what he claiming, I mean, if he was being attacked and shot and he drove through there, that's cool. Actually, I'm a little terrified. So when you actually go into court, I'm gonna drive a car straight up the court steps.
Yeah, while you walking in the court.
Because I'm terrified. I'm terrified right now. So I'm gonna hit you, your lawyer, the cops that's around you, because I'm terrified. Because I was being attacked. Y'all didn't see it, but it's gonna be a McDonald's that's down the street, and they attacked me at the McDonald's. So I'm
surprised there was only one death in that situation. That was a horrible accident.
That's true too. That's true.
The thing I'm surprised about is that in this day and age, they really think they're pumping fear. I don't understand it. After all of these years, we're constantly, in spite of what they're doing with the education system as far as weeding out black history, African American history, whatever, we still teaching our kids. The legacy still lives on. We still understand what happens. I was just in a Black History Museum in North Carolina last week when I went to my family reunion that showed these videos, and my son was there. And this is my thing. This is my only beef, though, with the young kids now. 14-year-old girl last week got shot in a drive-by. She was a friend of my family. Her great-grandmother and my grandmother were best friends. To those guys, there's 3 of them now, just got arraigned for that. We need guys like you to get ready for this fight we about to have. And since you so tough and it's that easy for you to, prey on the hood, and Melvin, you talk about this all the time. Like, all them guys, you cowards, it's easy for us to prey on each other in the neighborhoods, but you see what they did. Now, in true karma-like fashion, the cameras caught those guys' faces, and they're now starting to lose their jobs. And I believe some of them finna get kicked out of their schools because one of them goes to the University of, is it Nevada or Arizona?
I thought it was Nevada.
One of them goes to the University of Nevada, but don't quote us on that. But we think it's Nevada, and I wouldn't be surprised if they don't expel him for that.
They're gonna expel all of them. Depends on
their
position. Yeah, that's a freedom. That's a form of freedom of speech.
Yeah,
but what they did beat up a black guy. Did you see them beat up the black guy?
I didn't see them.
They
beat up the white guy though.
No, they beat up a black guy. He had braids and they showed the gas in his head. They world starred him. They got him.
Now, if they can actually prove that, and it's some of those college students, then yeah, I believe that they can expel them because under the guise of what they did is considered a hate crime. So I think they can expel them.
Yeah, you're right.
Their whole reasoning for going down there was on some racist stuff, though. The whole reasoning.
They came out the house from the time they went to Lowe's or wherever.
They
bought
went down
the tiki
there.
torches, bought the oil for it.
The reason they went down there?
You about to tell me?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, because of the Robert E. Lee statue is being taken down.
Look at my man, Cool knowing the
Cool
facts,
red,
baby.
man.
Cool knowing
Yeah,
the
that's
facts.
that Northwestern,
Cool red,
baby.
the Yahoo front page.
Google.
He was on his way to a porn site, so that popped up.
You said when he opened his browser, that was there first.
Yeah, so
before he went to the porn site.
No, it was after. I put that aside. I'll get back to that later. But yeah, they tearing the statue down. Who more important?
Cherokee.
Almost definitely. Yeah, they need a statue of her.
No,
but they try to tell the
right. Your
they,
favorite is still Jasmine Cashmere.
Yeah.
All time favorite.
No, not all time.
Not all time.
Yeah, we
talk about that later.
But yeah. So they planning on tearing that statue down. Robert E. Lee statue. He was a general in the Confederate War or something like that. Now that I don't know, but that's true. He was a general in the Confederate War. So the white people got upset. Like, don't tear this down. Don't tear this down. So they went there for that purpose of protesting the tearing down of that statue, the Robert E. Lee statue. So that's how it all started, from that statue.
Let me ask y'all a question real quick. If we seen a bunch of white people walking down Jefferson with
tiki torches,
and like signs that said white power, should we be upset?
I'm gonna say this. I would be upset. I'm gonna let them do their thing until it come to me.
He sounding real upset. I'm gonna let them do their thing.
When it come to me though.
But when you see it, you'll physically be upset.
This is not tough talk because we in this studio. but I live for moments like this. I'm not the type of person. I don't.
They do too, though. Ted.
I don't. But okay, I'm ready for that though. Like I'm not the type. Y'all know me.
Ted's ready to get down.
I don't do black on black crime and violence too well, unless somebody just blatantly disrespecting me or my family. And I try not to put myself in them environments or situations. So I'm cool. But when you coming like that, you coming with the disrespect. You
Correction. No. They just walking. They just walking with the signs.
No, that's why I said I'd be upset because of their message.
Okay.
But I won't do anything. But if you coming like that, if you coming with the violence or you spit on me, you look in my direction, I'm finna die.
That's a whole nother ball game.
Yeah,
but
call
I'm
you
just
the
saying.
N-word. What if he just call you the N-word? What you looking at N-word?
I can if he keep walking, I can let that go.
Right.
I can physically let that go.
Now, if we seen some black people walking down the street with black pride and black power, which they always do, why shouldn't everybody else get upset? What's the difference?
Well, I put it to
Hey,
you
did
like
you
this.
go there, man?
Hey, yeah, I'm going there, man.
Lawyer? Oh,
What's the
you a lawyer?
If we see black pride, black power, we like, yeah. But if they say white pride, white power,
Let's see how Ted's get out of this.
This is something I heard before. It's cool or it's okay for a rape victim to joke about their rape or to stand and have some pride about their rape and say, however they choose to be therapeutic for them about being raped, any way they want to go, any direction they want to go is cool. But for the rapist to make any comments or make jokes or to stand up and say, I'm a rapist and I'm proud, to me, pardon his expression, he deserved his ass whooped. So, again, you're talking people walking down the street bigoted saying white power who ran this country forever.
Yeah.
all I just said, they just had signs and things. They chanted white power, white pride. Now, they're proud to be white. They're proud of their thing. Why is it that we can do it and we can? It's okay for us to go black pride,
You know
black
why?
power.
You know why? Because we the ones that's being oppressed.
That's all.
Can
I'm
you
saying.
imagine?
Okay, yeah.
Can you
That's all I'm
imagine
saying.
if these guys, the white people that's so angry right now, if they really was oppressed, how they would react? If they not even being oppressed, they just upset that we getting a little notice, and you know what I'm saying? They just upset right now. They not oppressed. We've been oppressed. They just upset. If they was really being losing their jobs and being had to go live in like messed up neighborhoods and being in the situation we in and being deprived of stuff that we being deprived of, the blacks being deprived of, then I will understand them walking down the street, white pride, white pride. But they have no reason to scream white pride because they're not being oppressed. The only reason for screaming white pride is because they racist.
I mean, that's all I was looking for. I mean, I wasn't trying to start no fight, but if anybody want to get down, it is what it is.
No. See, man, there you go with the black.
I know, man.
brother.
That's what I'm
man.
about. Just hitting
We
people.
got to rise above. No, that's what they always say. See, we got to rise above. No, I mean, I put it like this: the white group, they were against not only one other group of people like Jews, blacks, LGBT. They was against everything that just wasn't white, allegedly right. Christian, right? Or what is it, Christian or Catholic? Christian, I think, white Christian. So if they're against all of that, now those dudes walking down the street saying black power, they probably just against the system per se. Because there's more white people down with the black movement than it is black people down with the white movement.
Yeah.
Overall. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some, I don't want to use the word coon. I'm going to just say there are some irrational black people who are for that movement directly and indirectly. I'm talking about the white power movement. Like, what's that? There's a sheriff out of some county. He's been on the front line. He disguised it as he's standing up for the police while the world, it seems like the country is going against police brutality.
Black guy?
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
With
He
the
be on
goatee.
every, he be
With the
on,
goatee.
yeah.
And you could just tell.
Man.
I just put it to you like this. He's not the black cop that you want to meet up with, even as a black person.
No.
He's just not that guy.
Just say he's a Trump supporter.
Yeah. Especially if he was with his white counterpart.
He a Republican.
I believe he'd show out. He's almost like the dude from Boys in the Hood.
I hate my black car. I hate my black face. I hate my black seats in the car.
He said, I hate you black bastards.
Yeah.
You stink. I hate Whoopi Goldberg. Rest in peace, Bernie Mac. Well, we got to wrap this up. We got my homegirl calling back, one of our special guests. But personally, gentlemen, I think there is some sort of something on the home front we got to worry about. And shout out to everybody here. We filmed this from Detroit, Michigan, but shout out to everybody in Michigan too. We have to be aware of these things too, because Michigan is one of the most segregated states in the North, and there are pockets of white supremacy groups here in the state of Michigan.
They way
How
out, though.
Michigan?
Oh,
Howell ain't that far.
Howell ain't that far.
Howell
Yeah,
ain't
Howell
that
ain't that far.
Howell ain't that far. Yeah.
Really?
How that's that's the mecca for the Ku
That's
Klux
what they
Klan.
say, yeah.
Come on, we ain't, it ain't
In the
appropriate to
country?
say it.
The mecca?
The KKK. I said
It's one of them.
Yeah,
it's one of them. Yeah, it's like a hub.
I got a flat tire on 96 one day and rolled to the next one. I rolled right past. Oh, my mom, I did.
Tore
How
your,
far is
tore
Howell?
your whole rim off.
How far is Howell from here?
Howell is where the outlet at.
Howell
the
is,
birth.
That little outlet we stopped in coming from that gig. That one
Well,
time.
me and you and
Going
Randy
out.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Tanger.
Oh, that's why you were so nervous. You're like, man, get your shirt and come on, man. Go to Polo Outlet and come on.
Yeah, man. Listen, I don't know. So it's close. Like Ted's right, man. We need to just go above and beyond it. If y'all feel some kind of way about it, man, if y'all feel either or, give us a call at 313-216-0674. That's 313-216-0674, man. Call us in, yell at us, do what you got to do, and we'll see what's up. I guess we about to move on to the topic of the day. Is that what we about to do?
Yeah, my homegirl, if you're listening, you can give us a call back. She called kind of early, and excuse us for getting on late today, ladies and gentlemen. We experienced some technical difficulties, but we're here each and every Tuesday night from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. right here on the Go Radio Network. For those of y'all watching, you can go to the website. The website is onthegораdio.com. And then you scroll down and click on the green Listen Live button, and that'll bring us right up through your computer, through the actual site. And you can also watch us stream live on YouTube. Go to On The Go Radio. That's the actual YouTube page, and it's also the same for the Facebook page. And if
Can
y'all
you
are
actually
friends,
tell them the spelling of that, man?
okay, On The Go. ONTHEGO RADI-YO Radio.
Radio.
Our CEO, Yolanda Edmonds. That's her abbreviation for her name. But yeah, the topic we wanted to get into today, I got my homegirl. She's about to call us back here in a second. Really good friend of mine.
Break or?
You guys know, yeah, we're going to tell you. I'm just,
Okay.
before we take the break.
Yeah, y'all better get ready. 'Cause I'm going
Right
in.
at the when we come back from this break, my homegirl, you guys have met her. She's actually the cousin of good friend Lazy Lamont, comedian. She's originally from Detroit. She's known as the twerking teacher. And for those of y'all who don't know what that is, Google that, and that's going to be one of our special guests when we come back after this break. We'll see y'all in a minute.
Back in 2 and 2.
Chandra, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. All right, we're gonna put you on hold, okay?
Oh, the girls said they're outside. They can't get in.
Yeah, we got them. We went down there and got them. Chandra. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Primetime Talk with the Fellas. You are here with Martez Jackson, Melvin Bender, and Kool-Aid. And our very special guest. This woman is a pole fitness instructor. She owns her own pole fitness studio. Introduce yourself, sweetheart.
Hi, I'm Portia. I'm from Studio 88, located in West Bloomfield.
Give him the address. Go ahead, give him the address.
6781 Orchard Lake Road, and that's West Bloomfield, right on Orchard Lake between 14 Mile and Maple.
Okay, that's good. For those of y'all watching that's not in Michigan, everybody knows that's West Bloomfield, Michigan. It's a baller suburb, so she got hers in the right spot. She probably get a lot of clientele from the upper echelon of the community. Now, you specialize, you're a pole fitness instructor, correct?
Correct.
Okay, now what does that entail? Like, I know it sounds self-explanatory, but it may be deeper than a lot of people are thinking, so go ahead and give people the real knowledge.
Well, first and foremost, a lot of people don't know that the pole fitness is soon to be in the Summer Olympics coming up soon. And we train.
Are you going to represent the D?
Well, I
for the
train,
gold?
I send people who go and represent for us.
Okay,
Yeah, but we cater to everyday women who just want an alternative workout or just maybe spice it up a little bit. At home, we offer pole fitness classes, chair dance, just fun, flirty fitness classes for ladies to get in shape and spice it up all at the same time.
Now, ladies, please go out and invest in a real pole for your house. Don't use that basement pole down there that hold up the beam, the support beam for the house.
Well,
Don't
it
use
depends
that.
on how big the girl is now. Some of them might need that big pole in the basement.
And the ones test me, they just go out to get on the light pole. They just climb up a regular street light.
Okay, let's keep 100. I am more partial to plus size women now. Do you find that there are more plus size women taking your course?
We cater to women of all sizes, and if anything, it's a fantastic workout. So ladies who are plus size, they can come and get a good workout in and, maybe shape it up a little bit.
So it's a situation where they can come to as many classes as they would like to. It's not a situation where you got to go like 3 classes and you the perfect pole dancing.
No, it's like a membership. It's like gym style. We have classes daily, Monday through Saturday. Some ladies come to class 2-3 times a week. Some ladies come to class maybe once a week. It just depends on how committed they are.
Can they wear whatever they
Yeah, just your typical workout attire.
I was gonna say, do you recommend workout clothes?
Yep,
Okay.
and then the more advanced you get, the more skin you need. So that's when I get
Yeah.
into the shorts and all of that fun stuff.
Can regular men, civilians, just come watch and like just? Can we
Not
just
at
come?
all.
And we can't come in
Not
at all. We can't just come in with a wad of singles. Ain't that like
Nah,
you
it's
trying to
not
get this
that
whole
type of
atmosphere,
party.
right?
What if I disguise myself like I really want to learn how to be a pole dancer just to get a
That
closer to
don't
them?
work
You know?
either.
I just think he really want to be a woman. I got this
Cool gonna come in there with some thigh warmers and a headband on.
with the
If you
'80s.
want to do a private session, I can show you a couple things.
Yeah, we can do that. We can work something out.
You got to get on the pole, though.
Yeah, you gotta get on the pole. Cool. You
I
got
seen that one coming. We gonna be off the air in 2 minutes.
so. Now in that, do you have like exercise bikes or something there as a warm up? Is there a warm up before the actual
The
pole
warm up
dancing?
is on the pole and off the pole. We do get into like ab and booty boot camp classes and those type of classes off the pole, but everything is based on the pole. I have trainers who come in. I've had bodybuilders, and it's a challenge for them because you're working different type of muscles. It's a real workout. I had a baby. I did the pole through 8 months of pregnancy, doctor approved.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
The baby was inside of you on an umbilical cord dancing with you.
Do it, mama.
Doctor approved, yeah.
Now, do people assume that you a traditional like stripper because of what you do?
Some people do, but those people who are just kind of ignorant to the whole, just what pole fitness is. Like, I've never been a dancer before. I was never into fitness before. I took a class when I was 19 years old, and I was very inspired by it. And maybe 6 months later, I had a pole fitness studio. I didn't know who was going to teach the classes. I just had a dream. I had faith, and I just made it happen. And I did. My first instructor, she was an actual stripper, and that's where it all started. So we know all the moves.
Well,
When
that's
you was
what's up.
19, you started.
When I was 19.
You 22 now, right?
I'm going on 30.
Oh, you look good.
Thank you.
Yeah, don't mention it.
Now, do you find that you now what demo? Is there a specific demo, or do you find them all? of
I
all
had
ages?
ladies all ages, races, sizes.
Now, if you had to say you get the most, give me an age range, like the most.
It's really, honestly, between 18 and 60, literally.
Wow.
I have one of my students, she's 74 years old. She can go to the top of the pole. She put a lot of
Ted's
young
about to
girls
lose
to
his
shame.
mind.
I need you to plug that. No
She put a
disrespect to
lot
my
of young
wife.
ladies to shame.
I need her info though. No
Do you
disrespect
have to
my
change the
wife.
music for her? Like
Bop.
blah, bamboo.
We go with the feel of the crowd. We go with the
Oh, mother.
I was born on the river.
Like, yeah, on the river.
Yeah, so we definitely
I've got
go with
sunshine.
the feel of the crowd. So we go from rock to pop to R&B to they want to hear the
I
ratchet
guess
music.
you say.
Okay, what percentage
I don't
of
understand.
your classmates are there for fitness, and what percentage are there to spice up the bedroom stuff for their man?
I say 80% is for fitness, but to spice it up at the same time, because there's no way you come into class and learning all of these great moves and aren't able to
I was gonna say the fitness probably
take it home.
turns into
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've had ladies who, and I get a lot of married women who.
You ever got to stop a woman like they just come in, girl? When I did that move last night, my boy, wait! I don't want to hear it.
I heard I'm responsible for a lot of engagements and pregnancies.
That's what's up. That's what's up. You know, spiritually that works because you know they doing it right. They getting engaged, married, they giving the baby all because of
Exactly.
you. That's
Yeah.
what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. Now, you say you started at 19.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know, when you think about starting a business, there's the money aspect and all of that. I'm not gonna ask you did it take a lot to get started, but as far as you turning over a profit, because it could have been fun all in the beginning, but you know, like most businesses, if you don't start to turn a profit, it kind of withers away. So you've obviously been in business for a minute. How long before you said, I got something. I know what I'm doing. I got something. We rolling.
I mean, I'm almost 10 years in the game, and it's still not easy. I'm still learning new things every day, but through the grace of God and, you know, just a lot of faith and determination and hard work just through every trial and tribulation, and even when stuff don't seem like it's going right, you know, if there's something you believe in, you just never give up. You just got to make it happen, make a way out of no way.
Now you actually
true.
do bachelorette parties and those types of things
Yeah.
too, right? Okay.
Yeah, so we do like a lot of ladies' night out events if you just want to, you know, get the girlfriends together. A lot of ladies don't like going to the club, or, you know, they just want to do something different. So they come in, you get to bring in wine and hors d'oeuvres, learn some, you know, fun moves. You can create playlists and just have a fun ladies' night out. But we do a lot of birthdays, bachelorette parties, soon-to-be single parties. That's been the popular one lately.
That's the new term for divorce party. Is that the new term? Okay.
Now, pole dancing is it's been around a long time. Is there any like new moves out that you could teach? It seems like every move has been done before and people know it. Is there any new stuff?
I mean, everyone brings their own, you know, style to it, their own unique style. So, and it's all, it is. It's always new stuff to learn.
Do y'all have names for the moves? Like this called the scissor leg cut, and this is called the Bahama Mama. And it's names for the moves.
We got like the fireman, money shot. No, just the money.
What?
Did you say
No,
the money shot?
That's one of our just little play in studio moves.
Well, you do know we're in the studio right now.
Oh, yeah. Y'all don't have a pole?
On a scale of 1 to 10, how good are you on the pole?
I'm pretty good. I would say I'm a 10. I can't say as long as I've been on the pole, a man has never seen my moves before, believe it or not.
So if I go to Atlanta and get one of them girls from Magic City to come down and say, let's go in this class.
Bring it.
You, okay,
They
then.
probably started off
I
at
like that.
Studio
I like
88.
that.
She got all that.
That's
So you can climb all the way to the top and walk across the beams.
Yep, I could do it all on the beam.
All right.
The sweetest move I saw, you might be familiar with this. There's a video floating around on Facebook or Instagram. 2 young ladies. One goes to the top. She holds herself and extends her leg, and the other one stands on her. Mm-hmm. And they spin around, and the other one is like riding her as if it's oh, that's the greatest ever. Like,
yeah, and that's the unique part about it. It's ladies who've come to the studio who've never even seen a pole before, and after maybe 6 to 8 months of, you know, consistent training, they can do all of that. It just really takes
That's true. I know a young lady like that. Yeah.
Yep. I never
They
thought
putting this
I'd be
personal
doing anything on the phone.
No, actually, she's actually a comedian out of Fort Wayne, Indiana.
okay.
And she started doing it after she had her baby, and now she do like shows. She put on like the pole shows, like she'll go to the so she do a little
Would
thing.
you ever do that? Not strip, but go to a men gentlemen's club and perform. Not strip, but just perform.
I've had like a showcase at a gentleman's club before. I didn't perform. A lot of my students performed. I like to be more so behind the scenes for some reason.
That's what's up.
That's because you know a lot of people. That's what it is.
Now,
No, that don't have nothing to do with it. I like to.
do you recommend a lot of upper body workout outside of your classroom? Like, do you recommend they do push-ups and go to the gym?
See, that's the thing. You could go to the gym and do all the pull-ups and push-ups you want, but when you come to the studio, it's still gonna be a challenge.
That's a different muscle you
working
working.
different muscles. As I said, I've had personal trainers, bodybuilders come, and it's a challenge for them. So yeah, it's definitely, and we show you how to build up that upper body and core strength. So we don't just expect you to jump on a pole and do all of these crazy things. We do show you how.
Almost on the same page as a gymnast, because they use all the muscles that you would use.
Yeah, but a lot of my students are ladies who are really serious about it are previous like gymnasts or have some type of gymnast or dance background.
Where's the studio at again?
It's in West Bloomfield.
Hey, what's your lake?
How affordable is it?
Very affordable. I've had another pole fitness studio tell me my prices were too cheap.
West
And the
Bloomfield,
reason
yeah.
being is I want to offer a a membership where ladies can come, and it's like an actual, they can come 2 or 3 times a week if they want to. They're not feeling robbed and paying $150 for 5 classes. Like, we have a Groupon going on. It's 5 classes for $30. So you can't beat that.
Yeah, that's true. That's kind of cheap.
That's too cheap. You need to stop. No,
And after the Groupon, we have like a $75 a month membership where you can attend all of our classes. We have classes daily, Monday through Saturday.
You don't read the fine print on the Groupon. The first 5 is $30, and after that, each class is $78. But you got to take 10 of those.
No, $75 for a month, unlimited. Okay. And that's why I think that's why I have, been in business so long, because I do have students that started out with me when I first started in 2009, because I do offer, affordable prices, and they can come get a good workout in, get away from the husband, the kids, and it's like our girls' haven.
We got a couple of people. A friend of mine, Trinice Howard, she says she's so interested, and also my girl, Kathy Wolford Boyd, said, I tuned in late. Can I get that studio name again? Give them your
Studio 88, the Artistry of Pole Fitness in West Bloomfield.
Give them the address.
6718 Orchard Lake Road, West Bloomfield, on Orchard Lake between 14 Mile and Maple.
And if you go in and say Kool-Aid, it's $1 off.
Yep, I will.
If you say you heard us, I don't know what she gonna throw in. She gonna throw in something. She'll talk to y'all later if you say you heard from us.
Yeah, we do. We actually also have an app you can download on iTunes or Google Play. It's Studio 88 Pole Fitness. Website is studio88polefitness.net. And then our 24-hour number is 248-991-7436.
Now, please spell out the website letter for letter, very slow.
Yep, STUDIO 88, that's the numbers 88, pole, POLE, fitness, FITNESS.net. And you can follow us on Instagram too at Studio 88 West Bloomfield.
Now I'm curious about the app. What is it? Pole Fitness. What does the app do? Is it a little cartoon thing you dance on?
No. Actually, that's my next goal, is to offer an app that can train ladies to do some of our, workouts at home, whether it's in a chair. I have like a complete workout you could just do in a chair in a fun, flirty way. And it's something that your mate can appreciate.
I mean, we can move this and you can demonstrate. We can push the table back.
Yeah, we can get this table up out of here. We can throw this table out
the
there.
on good clothes now.
No, but you should be able to dance in anything, right? I'm just saying. All right,
but the app makes it easy for ladies to just kind of manage their classes online. You can sign up for our class specials, but it just makes everything just so much easier.
That's what's up.
Good.
That's what's up. Cool. You looking for the app now, man?
Yeah.
You just went straight to the app?
Well, we really can't. I want to.
Any pictures on the app? Is any pictures of the?
Cool. You can't go, man. Just stop it, dude. You cannot show
Not
up
on
to
the
class.
app, but we have pictures on Instagram.
Okay.
Now, have you had people that you've trained? I won't say go behind your back, but have you had them go try to start their own classes, like different places?
Yeah, what's her name? I said.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I mean, it's a bittersweet thing. One of my students she was working with me for maybe 4 or 5 years, she did go and open up her own studio maybe about 2 years ago. And she just recently, I think she's relocating, but they aren't open anymore. Yeah. So it was a...
Want to do it?
That's
Look at God.
That is not a good
God
thing,
took that pole away.
It just really shows me that what God has for you, no one can take. And there's money out here for everybody to make. So it's like, it was a bittersweet thing.
So you glad it's closed, but she gonna say, it's room for everybody as long as it ain't her.
We all gonna eat.
God showed me that I'm the only one that could do that.
That is not what I said. It was just ironic that you asked that. But no, I know she's gonna be very blessed. So every.
That sounded so fake.
Yeah, you're not sounding very genuine with that. Do you find that a lot of young ladies in the area who are adult entertainers come to you for some sort of training, or do you find that they act like they know it all? Which one?
What's funny is I will get we've trained a few, quite a few dancers in the Metro City area. They do more so private sessions, so those aren't the ladies who are gonna come to like a typical drop-in class. But then I have some ladies who come to class who act like they never been on the pole before, but you could tell it's just that dancers have like a certain
She coming there in fishnet boy shorts. Listen, I ain't never done this.
They just have like a certain etiquette when it comes to like the pole, and you can tell like, girl, you've been on the pole before.
Right.
Why you say that? First of all, you got a tattoo on your neck named Lexus.
But see, that's the thing about it. It is a judge. It's a judgment-free zone. We encourage ladies to leave their inhibitions at the door. We all beautiful, sexy, confident. So whatever it is,
and take it straight home to your man. How about that?
Yeah.
Or your woman.
Or your woman. Or your woman.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Now, my girl Trinice said that she says she will be hearing from me.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll look forward to seeing you.
Yeah, Trinice.
Absolutely.
All right, Trinice.
Yeah, I think Trinice, if I remember correctly, you need me to stop by there and fix that little squeaky door you got, right?
Yeah, Ted's so disrespectful.
Nah, that's my home girl. Actually, you know her, man. That's one.
Don't try to put me out there like I know her. I don't know Trinice.
I know Trinice. Don't put no
Y'all know her.
No, you know her, Ted.
So anyway, the pole dance. So now, did you originally? I asked like most of our fitness people because this is a fitness class. Did you play sports in high school? Were you a gymnast? Things like that that get you?
I was not. That's why I said when you have a dream, you just have to go for it. Because when I even opened a studio, I never even thought I'd be teaching classes. I'm like, this is hard. I went to my first class and I was like, but I seen the opportunity, and then eventually it was like, okay. And then I tried a move or two, and I just started building up my upper body and core strength and getting in the gym. And then I was like, okay, let me give it a try. And then I just would practice every day at the end of class when nobody was watching. And
We ain't laughing at you, babe. We laughing at this idiot right here. It's like everything you're doing is
Just
trying
an
to
upper
get
body,
on.
huh?
You have no idea who you sit next to. You can sneeze. You can be like, That's how you just gonna.
I'm doing something. Bless you. Bless. I say bless you.
He don't say blessed, girl. You are so blessed. So, okay. So you got your studio going. Now you had some initial competition. Now let's call it what it is. In the area you're in, I know that's a heavily populated black area. Not heavily, but nicely, nice concentration of black people. But that entire area, there's a lot of white women. Like, do you have anything outside of white or black women, like Indian women? 'Cause I know it's Indian women out there too.
And this really,
Because some cultures, not to cut you off, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Some cultures don't, they don't really play that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, but you did say you did have an Indian woman come in.
We had an Indian restaurant next door. I used to get all I get ladies lit. Like right now, I've been getting a lot of students from South Africa. It's more so here in the States where people look down on it. It's very popular overseas. Like one of my students, she's probably in class right now. She's from Italy, and there they pole dance in the castle. So it's very big overseas. It's more so here.
The castle?
In the castle.
For the prince.
And they want me to
We
come.
pole dance over here at the Manugian Mansion. Yeah, that's our castle.
And then you don't leave after your pole dance.
So I have a very diverse group of students, literally from all over.
Oh, that's
So
what's
you
up.
really are
Black,
getting that
white,
bread.
Indian, Russian, and I get any type of lady you could think of.
Now, with the Olympics, you said the pole dance is going to be in the Olympics. Is twerking going to be a form of the Olympic voting or whatever?
Maybe not twerking, because when you look at a lot of competitions and things like that, and even overseas, like when ladies come to my studio, they're so intrigued because they never overseas when they do pole fitness classes. It's a lot of just strength training and pole pull-ups and stuff like that. And when they come here, we show them how to make it sexy and throw in the body movements and a little bit of twerking. We have a twerk fit class, so.
I would imagine it's going to look more like gymnastics than anything else. The pole
Yeah,
fit.
you probably have to work that pole like a little hard. I don't think it'll be.
Is the young lady you brought with you, is she in your class? We don't want to put her on blast. We're not going to put her on camera. But
That's
she's
one of my good friends, yep.
Oh,
She
okay.
takes classes.
Yeah, I can tell. She look real fit. Yeah. That's what's up. So you say your class are affordable. I don't know if you want to put the prices out there or just have them call you and y'all can.
I mean, you can call, but we have a Groupon going on. You could go on Groupon. It's 5 classes for $30, 10 classes for $50. And we also have a pole party special. You could get your girlfriends together, a party up to 12, bring in food and drinks, and learn some moves.
That movie Girls Night Out, that's yeah, y'all.
I still haven't
Yeah,
saw
when y'all have a Girls Night Out, ladies, incorporate this into y'all outing. This would be a fabulous outing. How long is one class? If the girls want to plan something and come to this, and then they say, okay, we have time to do other stuff. They have time to do other stuff.
Oh,
right?
yeah, definitely. And then we do maybe like 10 to 15 parties a weekend. So we have parties earlier in the day. The latest party starts at about 9 o'clock.
And the class is 1 hour.
It depends. They can be from an hour to 2 hours, depending on how many ladies you have.
Let me ask this question, and this is no offense. Don't nobody take offense to this, but do a lot of gay men take the class? Do you have any gay men like the more sensitive,
question.
the more sensitive
That's
gay?
business. That's business.
I'm not gonna lie.
By himself. He ain't gonna come by. He ain't gonna want to be in there by himself.
If it's more so like a private party, like we had a party over the weekend. It was a private party, and they had 2 guests, and they were the ladies. So, but like with our classes, we do cater to women only. They are women only classes, but men, I do. Men who are, just like the ladies and actually want to come and train, like they can do like private sessions and that type of thing.
Yeah, I would imagine the woman be uncomfortable if regular guys, straight guys.
Yeah, and let me tell you this. I tried to do a co-ed class, and I had a guy come in. He was actually an Indian guy. And it was just really weird. I was like, okay, this is not for me. Let me just stick to the women.
Did he
weirded
y'all out?
He was like, this is my fantasy. My wife doesn't know I'm here. I'm like, okay.
He had his little 7-Eleven uniform on. And
I can't believe all these beautiful girls.
In the middle class, yo, ladies, take 5. That's it. Y'all come back tomorrow.
Yeah, so that was I tried it. It didn't work. It didn't make me feel good.
Well, if you ever do it again, keep us in mind.
we'll come by and do the class.
We'll come by and do the class.
We'll bring the cameras down there. We'll do the class live. We'll do the show from there. Yeah,
or
on
we
location.
can't even bring the pole down here.
Okay, you are. I like the way you do business.
But I do, and that's the thing. We come to people's homes as well. We do have a standalone pole. It requires no installation to the ceiling. It comes with the stage, and we do in-home parties and events as well.
Real talk, how tall does the basement have to be?
At least 9 feet.
And how much?
That's the standard. That's the standard.
I think mine is low.
Wait, I'm sorry. 7 feet. I think it's 7 or 9
I
feet.
think mine is 7.
But we've never went somewhere and we had trouble setting up our pole.
How much does a good pole like that cost?
It's about $1,000 for that type of pole.
Really?
Man, go get a stripper.
Now we mad at you. Just shut up.
Get out. For that type of pole, it comes with a stage. It requires no installation to the ceiling, so maybe $600 on the cheap end.
This is at like Cirilla's. What is it called? I don't know.
I don't know. You'll have to get it like Expo, Platinum Stages, that type of thing. Like
okay, like all the stripper places. Yeah, strippers are us.
Well,
Ace of Pose.
We really want to thank you for coming out. And first of all, and we want to let everybody know you're not a dancer.
No.
Now, when I say dancer, I mean stripper.
Right.
Yeah. She got to give her info again.
Yeah, we want to let everybody know that we just want to clarify the air as far as that goes, because people probably been listening like, oh, she's those that tuned in late. No, this is a pole fitness instructor, and she's gonna give you her information right now. Don't forget the address and the phone number.
Yeah, so we're coming live from Studio 88 Pole Fitness in West Bloomfield. The address is 6718 Orchard Lake Road, right on Orchard Lake between 14 Mile and Maple. That's West Bloomfield, Michigan. And you can find us on Instagram at Studio 88 West Bloomfield. And you can download our app on iTunes and Google Play, Studio 88.
This might be a call for you. Let's Oh, okay. Now that's actually our guest coming up for the next segment. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can call. We want you to stick around. Don't go nowhere. Don't run off because there might be some people to call in for you. But we're going to have you switch seats with our guest so we can bring our next guest in. But if you have questions for Miss Pole Fitness, you can give us a call at 313-216-0674. And right now you're listening to Prime Time Talk with the fellas. We're going to be back after this so we can bring in our next guest. Our next guest coming up, this young lady was a burlesque dancer in the state of Virginia, and some things happened, and she was hated on, and it caused her to lose her day job. We'll talk about that right after this break. Thank you for coming out, sweetheart.
Thank
we
you
appreciate
for having me.
Anytime.
Are you there?
Yes, Mommy is here.
Okay. All right. We're finna bring you on right now. We're gonna put you on hold, and but you're gonna hear me talking, so I'm gonna bring you on right now.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are back with Prime Time Talk with the fellas, Martez Jackson, Melvin Bender, and my boy Kool-Aid. Say what up, y'all.
What up, y'all?
What's happening?
And we are back. Special thanks to our guests who just left. Make sure you check out Studio 88 Pole Fitness Center in West Bloomfield, Michigan. We're going to get that address for you again. And, make sure we repeat it before the show is over. But joining us right now is a phenomenal burlesque dancer. She goes by the name Irresistible O. And I have no idea how to pronounce your full first name. Please tell me that.
My full first name is My name is The Irresistible O.
Your first name is The.
Yes.
Boom. That ain't what I saw on your Facebook page. I ain't gonna put you out there like that. Thank you for being with us, sweetheart. You've met Kool-Aid already that you're sitting next to.
Hello.
And this is Melvin Bender, and you and I have talked on the phone all day because I was trying to get you down here. And you came through for me in the clutch, and I appreciate that. Now, you are a burlesque entertainer.
Correct.
Now, there's a difference, and we just had the guest on who's a pole fitness instructor. Now, there's a thin line that men like to walk and how we classify and justify things, but you being a burlesque performer, you guys consider that different than the average exotic dancing, correct?
It is almost completely different.
Okay, explain,
than the average
please.
exotic dancing. Burlesque is an art form. Burlesque is a movement. It's a female empowerment and upliftment movement. It is performance art at its best. I like to describe it as a mixture between Cirque du Soleil and Las Vegas. But you have a full-on production, a full-on show. You do not get down to or show any nudity whatsoever. So it's completely different. It's like night and day.
No,
now you wait, hold on.
No nudity.
That sucks.
Now she got to be honest with the people. Now don't say no nudity like they don't get a nice peek at something, because it is some skin showing, correct?
It's the same amount of skin that you would see if you went to the beach.
So
that's nudity, man. That's nudity.
She made it smooth. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I
basically
said
bra, nudity. I mean, the beach is bra and panties.
The beach is a bikini, so yeah.
Okay, a bottom and a top.
A bottom and a top.
A two-piece.
Or you know what? It doesn't always get that far. Sometimes you're in a full dress, a gown. Okay. Sometimes you're in a skirt. Sometimes you're in a shirt and pants. It just depends on the performer and where they like to take it for their dance piece.
Now, where do burlesque dancers dance at? Where do you perform at? Because I'm not that knowledgeable, but I don't know where these places to perform, to go see y'all perform. Where do you perform at?
Now he can tell you where every strip club in the city is.
All the But yeah, where do burlesque dancers perform at?
Burlesque dancers perform at theaters.
Oh, see, I'm stupid. Okay.
I recently went to a burlesque show.
Yeah.
What was the restaurant I said we was at that one time downtown? It was just probably about a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
That more high end restaurant, remember? Food was expensive.
Downtown,
Yeah,
not the
let's
Whitney.
stay.
Not
Nope.
the
Teach
Whitney.
the class? Do you teach burlesque dance?
I do teach burlesque. I teach burlesque. I'm actually a burlesque historian as well, and I teach burlesque history.
Now, when I think about burlesque, I think about the way back in the day, the old actresses performing
With the feathers and
yeah.
That's exactly what it is. It has not changed.
So, do you think you can make it more modern in burlesque and to bring it up to date to make it more popular, or do you still want to keep that heritage and keep it old school like that?
There's actually a dual movement happening right now. So it's funny that you would ask that, because there are those of us, and I'm included in this group, who harken back to the good days of burlesque, where they were older in the actually burlesque started in 1868. And then it goes from 1868 into its heyday. And then it kind of fizzled when the modern strip clubs started coming out and people weren't going to the theaters as much. So a lot of people nowadays really love burlesque because it doesn't show full nudity, because it is hearkening back and paying homage to the vintage times. And then you have the neo-burlesque movement. Now that's an all new movement.
That sounds like something Kool-Aid gonna like.
go
Before
ahead.
you even get to
You
it.
might like
Before you
that
even
one,
get to it.
Kool-Aid.
explain that
Hear
one.
about this.
I want to see some ass jiggling.
What's
You
the neo-
still might not see that, but you'll see some things that interest you, no doubt. Now, the neo-burlesque movement is a whole different take on burlesque. It took the older burlesque and then morphed it to be more modern and fit today's times and today's struggle. But the thing about neo-burlesque that makes it so special and unique is that it deals with political issues, social issues, everything and anything that is news or that we need to deal with today
It's
in
in
the
the
art
performance.
form.
It's in the
art
performance.
form.
Okay.
Yep.
Now we got your friend on the line, both of our friend. I want to bring her.
I love her.
Oh, that's a
Love her.
heart.
That was a heart.
I thought you was in the game.
Yeah.
No.
Well, you can't be.
I'm in the glitter gang.
Yeah, Kool-Aid used to be with them. No, I got my girl on the line. Chandra, are you still there, sweetheart?
I will stab you in your throat.
I'm sorry. Lottie, are you still there?
Lottie is here.
I'm sorry, sweetheart.
You was just actually talking
I'm
to her,
sorry,
though.
Sam.
Are you actually still there?
Yeah. No. We had her on hold for a second. The beautiful Miss Lottie Ellington is on the line. And forgive me for that. Lottie Ellington is on the line. We're sitting in the studio. We appreciate you calling. First of all, Lottie is from Virginia, originally from Detroit. Now she lives in Virginia. And actually, I've always been familiar with the burlesque movement, the burlesque entertainment piece. But to know somebody personally, and then when I would see her pictures and see her get into it, and then we would have phone conversations, and she started to explain it to me, it became intriguing because me being a stand-up comic and being a live performer, and her explaining the elements more so than just the disrobing or robing for that matter, taking off, putting on, the performance aspect that you just explained. So that really intrigued me. But you had a situation, right, Lottie, in Virginia. Do you care to share that with the listeners?
Yes, sure. Again, I'm Lottie Ellington. Of course, Lottie is my character. Lottie has a whole backstory and is, for the most part, a fully fleshed out character. But as a burlesque performer, burlesque is very glitzy and glamorous. However, it is a persona and a character. So most of us have a full-time job or several jobs that we are working to be able to afford all of the rhinestones and the glitter and the fabric and all the things and the dance lessons that we need to be able to bring this art to light. And I worked. I was a public school teacher for 13 years, and someone decided that it was their job to send an anonymous email to my job, and I was forced to resign.
Wow. First of all, death to that hater. And
well, you should have gave me your phone number when I asked for it. So therefore, I sent the email. Deal with it.
Say with.
She did not laugh at that.
I think that's not a lot of that going on.
Say that again.
For the most part, there's not a lot of that going on. For the most part, and the audiences we have are primarily couples.
True.
Oh wow.
Now, were you showing the?
You went with your girl, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess. Kool-Aid, that's why you ain't never been, because you ain't got a woman.
Yeah, I need a woman. You hear that? Yeah. Were you showing a significant amount of skin during your performances, or can you describe your performances to us?
I do more neo burlesque, so my performances are often political. A lot of satire, a lot of comedy. The number that got me, that burst me into infamy was called "Twerking in the Rain." It's a Tasha Call song.
Twerking in the Rain.
Silly song. Twerking in the Rain. It's a silly song. It's a silly number. But again, it's not usually. It's usually people are upset that how dare you decide that you would like to twerk. And my feeling is, at that point, I'm a grown woman with not 1 but 2 degrees. So when is it appropriate for me to twerk? I'm not 12. I'm not 15. I'm not unemployed. I'm a grown woman who decided she wanted to work around.
Now, up to this point, Lottie, you had everything was cool. Like up to this point, you were balancing your daytime career along with your second passion, we'll call it, correct?
Correct.
And
yes,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I hadn't had any problems. I was very diligent in maintaining and keeping things separate. I have separate email accounts. I have separate social media accounts. I have separate Twitter. Like, there's no crossover. The only time there's any crossover is if you knew me before I started performing. If you knew me before I started performing, you may know me by my legal name, but in terms of once I started performing, it was completely separate. I don't look anything like I do when I'm in. Lottie doesn't look anything like my legal name, which is part of why I was able to do it for so long. I also performed out of state. I performed in Michigan. I performed in Ohio. I performed in Pennsylvania. And I'd stayed out, tried not to perform in my home area just because I didn't want to risk being outed. But things happen. I'm in a much better place.
When you say your home area, do you mean your birth home, which I assume is here, or where you relocated to?
Where I relocated to? Oh no, I perform. I love Detroit. I will come and I will work all over Detroit.
Yeah.
And you see, it got you in trouble. Look, why you being fast here in Detroit.
I have like 2 questions. One, do you have any idea who the snitch was? And 2, was there any legal ramifications that you could take?
I do have. It's not important, but yes, I do have idea of who it is. And there's, karma is real, and you reap what you sow. And so, the universe, God will take care of them. I'm not worried.
Or Pookie, he can go over there and take care of them too. So if you want to send him over
legally,
there.
I didn't recourse or recourse because Virginia is a right to work state. So that means that if your boss there's no unions here. So if your boss decides that they don't like the way that you sneeze, they can fire you.
Which gives you no protection, no employment.
Same here, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's same here.
No. The teachers have a union here.
Oh, yeah.
So if a teacher got caught, well, I don't even like to say caught, because it wasn't like you were doing something bad. Everything you was doing was legal and above board, and you were doing something in an adult fashion. Now, my only beef with that is you work for the school board, and these parents and school board members, and they act like they ain't snorting coke, having drinks, beating their wives, and doing everything else. So it's like, really? So just because somebody decided to leak my business, now I've lost my job and my livelihood for a temp. Because correct me if I'm wrong, you're working again now, right?
Yeah. Well, I always have several hustles. So, I work. I teach. I currently teach burlesque, so that helps keep the bills paid. I still perform. That keeps the bills paid, and I do have. I do what I need to do.
I mean, we ain't got you ain't got besides the drug dealing. We ain't got to put all your business out there. We know you moving them things from state to state, but outside of that, we like you're still able, like you said, to pay your bills and so forth. So when that person really thought they were putting a dent on your livelihood, they actually did nothing, correct?
Yeah, no, they just all they did was make it so that I could take bookings here in Richmond. They just freed up, so now the bookings that they might have been able to get, they got to fight me for.
Oh, wait a minute. So it sounds like you saying that was somebody in the industry that dropped that dime on you.
You never
It
know.
happens. It's a female run. It's a female industry, and women can be catty, and it happens.
It is still show business, so you do have politics within the genre. But the thing that makes this situation so interesting is the type of stigma. Like you said, you weren't doing anything wrong. You were just doing X, Y, Z. Okay, well, what's the difference between someone doing burlesque and going to work, or in that not being considered work, versus someone who's in Cirque du Soleil? What they call and report someone who's in Cirque du Soleil.
Right.
No, both are employment. Both don't do anything wrong. So why is it in this situation it was looked at in a different way? And Lottie's situation actually ended up highlighting something that's grotesque in this society, and that is stigma and how people view female sexuality in the female body. It is seen as a negative when a woman takes on her own sexual power, sexual energy, or any type of ownership of her own physical person. Why is that any different than what a man does? No one questions, is this man going out to do X, Y, Z, LMNOP? It's just a given. But when a woman does it, it's a totally different situation. Hold on,
Now,
Kool-Aid.
I'm inclined to, I'm not going to disagree with you. Everything you're saying is 100% correct, but I will say this, though. I believe any school board, if they catch any male or female, if they caught a dude out there in a bow tie and some tuxedo pants with no shirt on, dancing at Chippendales, I believe he'd get the same type of treatment. That's no offense to my girl Lottie. I'm just saying I believe the same.
But that's the thing. Do we have an example of that? Like we have an example of many women like Lottie who went through that. You would believe, but where's the concrete evidence of that? We have so many women in the industry, and all the industries, be it pole, be it today's traditional stripping, be it burlesque, be it all kinds of things that are stigmatized. But you can't name an example when it's a man. Lottie's situation was actually good. It actually worked out and opened up a lot of doors for her and to push her forward and upward. But it also highlighted, like I said, the stigma. She had her own hashtag. There was more discussion within the industry. There was a lot of discussion outside of the industry. So it worked out to be a positive either way.
That's what's up. So essentially, she kind of became the poster girl for the liberation of that particular aspect of the movement.
Very much. I wouldn't say the poster girl because that's a lot of pressure. She spoke up for her.
But I know
rights.
her. She'll take that. You'll take that, right?
What would you call it, Lottie?
You'll take that, right, Lottie?
Unfortunately, I did become like the poster girl because, again, there were people that came. A lot of people came to me. Belly dancers came to me and were like, "Oh my goodness, I lost custody of my kids because my ex told the judge that I was belly dancing, and the judge thought it was vulgar, and I lost custody of my kids."
Ooh.
I have discussions even today where people are like, "Well, this is with the Charlottesville thing, and these guys are losing their jobs," and people are like, "Oh my God, well that's just terrible, and this shouldn't happen." And I'm like, "Well, wait a minute. Again, if all things are fair, and what you do outside of work affects the company, then yes, you can lose your job." And I don't feel sorry.
I want to ask, what kind of
I wear wigs, put on makeup. They didn't even bother to do that. So at least I'm trying. When I did my thing, I was trying to make sure that it was a separation and a difference. I had enough respect for my job to say, okay, I know this is something they may not agree with, so I'm still gonna live my life and do my thing, but I'm going to be respectful enough to not rub it in anybody's face.
What kind of people were you performing in front of? What did your audience members consist of?
Couples, a lot of LGBTQ members. Not a lot of heterosexual males come to shows. It's usually bachelorette party, married couples, and gay and lesbian couples.
A lot of women.
Now, is that because you guys steer heterosexual men away, or is it like all inclusive? Like, come on, we need y'all here too.
No, I think we want to see more.
It's
Yeah, we want to.
I think we want to see more.
Yeah.
They don't show enough.
That was something that someone wanted to hire me to do a job, a show. And then when they found out that I don't go down to nudity, they were like, no, that's okay, or you don't hear from them or something like that. It's largely burlesque's audience is women and it's couples. And it's men who are okay with either their wife, their girlfriend, their significant other feeling empowered or seeing the empowerment of other women.
Now, is it a lot of gay dudes who do what you do? Because when I say hear burlesque, I think about the guy that dang, what's the big drag queen? The guy.
RuPaul?
Yeah,
Flame
RuPaul.
Monroe?
Is it no, not Flame. Is it a lot of gay dudes who do? Is that your competition who dress up and the big things? Is that because are those guys doing that burlesque dance?
Well, let me first start by saying women have no competition. We're women.
That's gangster.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, we don't really delve into people's...
Tell Bobby Valentino that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We don't really delve into people's sexuality because that's their business. Your sexual
sexuality.
Well, you asked me do a lot of gays.
It could be a
Oh,
heterosexual.
yeah. A lot of men do burlesque, but it's called boylesque.
Oh.
Right. So it's all the guys, and they have their own competitions and their own shows.
So they're not
it's
in
a
y'all
huge
lane.
industry. We are in the same lane. They're just men who do it, and we're women who do it.
No.
Yeah, but it's all the same genre.
You honestly don't feel a certain way. Come on, let's keep it real. You gotta feel a certain way about a dude that's doing what you do, dressing up. You a woman. This dude dressing up like you, and he walking around thinking he look better than you, doing it better than you, and you don't feel a certain way about that at all. Be real.
No, I don't.
Okay, don't you guys pass a bucket? Is that how it is?
No, I mean...
Depends on the show. Sometimes they do have tips, like a tip bucket, but some places don't. It depends on the show. It depends on the venue. It depends on the law.
The one I went to, they passed a bucket, and they went down to tassels on their
the
breasts.
pasties.
It
Depends on the production itself. But generally, we uplift each other. Generally,
You ain't got no beef with the dude.
I don't have any beef with the dudes,
No,
but that
none.
doesn't mean
I
there
teach-
aren't
I
other
teach
things
boys.
happening in
Y'all
the
being
industry.
kind of PC right
I
now.
think
Y'all
they
being
is.
kind
I
of
think
PC
they
right
they
now.
ain't keeping it real.
Nobody. Yeah, I teach boys, and I try to get, and I'm like, come on out. We love boylesquers. There isn't. The difference is, and this is the difference. This is a female-run, female-driven industry. So we're not having those type. The competition is different. For guys, yeah, y'all ready to cut each other's throats. But for women, we're like, oh yeah, we're so happy you're here. We're excited to, to have them. So it's not a matter of, I have feelings because a dude is doing burlesque or a dude is dressing like a woman to do burlesque. That's part of his art. It's more about that art and more about who they are. And as long as you're doing your thing and you look beautiful, let's do it. And if you look kind of crazy, I'm gonna pull you aside and be like, okay, we need to fix your wig.
Okay, so let me ask this question. So men strippers go down to G-strings, right?
Not sure what men strippers do.
But
men
what about what's it called? Boylesque?
Boylesquers can go down. Again, it depends on the performer where they want to go. It's very much a performance art. So if they want to go down to pasties and a G-string, that's up to them. It's their body.
So then what's the difference? If that's the case, what's the difference between stripping? The music? Because there is no difference. If you're going down to the same exact outfit, one moving a certain way to a hip hop song and one moving to a burlesque song,
Well,
what's
I think
the difference?
she mentioned earlier, it's more of the production aspect. Like, you know, the DJ in the strip club, the DJ just say, "Coming to the stage, Sapphire," and then Rick Ross.
But no, I'm talking about the men though. Like if the men are,
I think that too. It's like it still boils down to the performance aspect,
very much
to the
so.
production.
but isn't it stripping?
No.
What's the difference?
The difference is stripping sells sex, burlesque sells illusion. That's the difference. When you go to a strip club, you are there to look at a person in a sexual way, in maybe a sexually gratifying way. When you go to burlesque, you are there for a number of reasons, a number of elements. You're there for the glamour. You're there for the upliftment. You're there for the laughter. You're there for the satire. A lot of times,
You can do that at a strip club.
right, the costumes. A lot of times there's a full production, like a lot of comedians, which is how burlesque started, because burlesque means satire. It means basically, in today's language, to spoof. So it's a whole show. Whereas when you go to the strip club, that's it. That's it.
Okay.
You're there. It's the woman. It's a body. It's
the
a
DJ
body.
house the girl.
You
But
may
if you're
not even
going-
know the woman's name.
But if you're going down to the same exact outfit, because most clubs, like in Chicago, you have to wear pasties. So, and you got burlesque shows that go down to pasties. So you saying it's a show? A strip club can be a show. They might come out to a Michael Jackson theme, and they might dance to something, and strip down to playing Michael Jackson. Where you guys will come out,
Man, what
and
strip club you went to?
No, when you the high end ones. Okay, I don't just go to chocolate. But if they dancing to something, they doing an actual show, and they strip. Like if you go to Vegas, like Felice Bergere, that's a burlesque show in Vegas. I've been there. They come down. They have two different kind of shows. They have the ones where they do that, and then after 10 o'clock, they'll go down to the paces and everything. So like paces and a G-string. So if a stripper will go down to the exact same thing, and they're giving a show, you're in an establishment, you got food, you got drinks, you got laughter, you got fun. What's the difference?
But see, I think essentially you just kind of described a burlesque show. I don't think,
Sure.
like, I think strip
That's a strip
clubs-
club, too.
I think a strip club, as we traditionally know it, at least in our lifetime, is just straight. They come out already half butt naked. And they may go even further to in some places fully nude or almost nude, or at least tops off. I've seen the pictures from Lottie, and I've done a little bit of investigating where she might start off honestly in a full clown suit. No, like real talk.
'Cause
Like a
burlesque
full
is
clown
close.
suit.
I ain't got
linked
nothing
to
to
the
do with sex.
surface.
If I see something in clown suit,
I'm gonna be scared and leave. That's what I'm gonna do.
That's what burlesque is.
See,
It's
I'm
closely
weird.
related
I'm
to the
weird.
surface.
I'm gone.
I'm weird like that, so I could sit there. Okay, let me see what the clown. And
Let me
then-
see what it about to do. Stephen King's It.
Burlesque
I'm
goes,
weird
it's,
like
it's
that.
closely linked, and it is technically vaudeville. It's everything we know of
Vaudeville.
theater.
Like the vaudeville was
It
the original
is
everything.
theater.
Like,
And I can tell you are really into it because you in here doing the interview with the gloves on. You got the the glitter. You doing it just for the interview. So if you want to do a little something, you can. And you're halfway dressed. I mean, for it. You halfway dressed for it if you want to.
Well, you know what? I have to represent my genre. This is my art
Yes.
form. It's my passion. I am a full-time showgirl, and I travel the worldwide. And he told me, just wear jeans and a t-shirt. And I was like,
did.
you know what?
You did that, but you did.
I did, didn't I?
You didn't wear jeans and a t-shirt, but you went.
I had to bring my Ava doll for my glow, my satin doll for my gloves, and then my $1 billion Jasmine Bellamy shirt.
Now-
Because
Now, how would you
that's the
take that
difference.
glove off if you was in a burlesque show? Like take one. I seen how they do it.
Honey, I might not take it off. That's the thing. But I'll show you a
Yep.
little glimpse.
Sell it.
Yeah.
Sell it.
Yeah.
Don't do that. I see you. Do it, girl. Do it. You open the mouth right there. Okay, you biting it. Okay. Take the tip off. Then you pulling. Take your time. We got it all night. Are you putting it back on? You teasing me. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's the thing. Burlesque is a
Hey, don't
tease.
ask Kool-Aid to stand up for the next 10 minutes. Don't
Yeah,
ask.
knock this table over. You want to have this? You want the edge of the table to tip off? Stand up and be gone.
That's the thing. Burlesque you might not see that. Or you might. It depends on the performer. Very much it is about an idea. It's an aspect. It's an ideology. It's not about a body.
I think I'm gonna have my wife get the clown suit. But listen,
I want to
With the
say
big old shoe.
when they ask,
go ahead.
I want to jump in because the question was, what's the difference between stripping and burlesque?
Come on.
And the major difference in terms of, stripping and burlesque is that I am in control of what happens. I'm in control of the song.
Absolutely.
I'm in control of how long I perform. I'm in control of what I take off or what I don't take off. It's about my expression. When you go to in strip club, you come in and you know that you want to see titties and ass. And so that's what you're expecting, and that's what you're going to get. When you come to a burlesque show, you can't even be sure what you're going to get. I may do an entire number.
Lottie.
5 minutes without any. Yep.
We're gonna need you to PG that on the next.
I'm sorry.
She was passionate.
It's the other one. I'm
gonna try to use. I'll use my lady mouth next time.
Yeah.
No, don't do that.
Okay. We got
But again, essentially, it's about my expression and it's about me. And when people come to shows, again, the difference is when you go in a strip club, it's silent. There's not a whole lot of chit-chat going on.
Okay, let me do
this. But you go
this.
to a burlesque show, and we encourage you to hoot, to holler, to yell, to scream. That's what we want. It's an energy exchange.
So that dude in the strip club that be going, come on, y'all, let's give it up for blah, 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 blah. They do the same thing at burlesque shows. You have an MC.
We do have an MC or host, yes. And they tell you what the rules are.
But
okay,
Mel, I think
what are the rules?
I'm gonna fight it to the end.
The rules, we tell you what the rules are. We're going to tell you what we want, what we don't want up front. And again, their job as the MC is to give you an idea of the of what's coming up and who the performer is. So when they say coming to the stage, it's Virginia's infamous twerking teacher, Lottie Ellington, bringing to you her vision of Asada Shakur. You know already what you're getting into. And when my song comes on, I do my number, and then I leave out. And after my number is over, that portion of the show is over. So when I'm at the end of the show, I may come around and say hello, but for me, I make sure that I'm closed because you don't get anything extra.
Okay, now tell me this. Based on, as far as burlesque goes, is the underlying theme sensuality, no matter how political the performance may be, no matter how satirical the performance may be, is the underlying theme sensuality? Is it promoting romance and lust, or is that only an option?
That's only an option.
Okay.
The underlying theme is the theater. The underlying theme is a woman's power. Those are the underlying themes. Where that woman gives you permission to go based on her performance is up to her. Like Lottie said, it's a very female-dominated and female-run industry. That's the beauty of it. Much like pole dance, it's a female industry. So, in essence, it's taking the autonomy and giving it to that female, whereas the woman who was on that stage gives you permission to give the male gaze.
Now, I'm not saying I'm totally behind Melvin's point of view, but you two ladies are not acknowledging the elephant in the room that sex does sell, and y'all are selling a little bit of sex. Not selling sex literally, but the fact that y'all dress up the way y'all do and unclothe yourselves a little bit. So you have to acknowledge that at least.
Well, I just did a whole burlesque with a glove and jeans and a T-shirt. Was I selling sex? No.
You was attempting to draw me in to want to do that. That's why you did this a little bit and put the glove back on. Your attempt was to do that, right?
My attempt was I was playing with my glove for myself, and you know.
See, I think that's why Mailman's saying what he's saying, because y'all not even acknowledging the fact that, okay, we are sexy and we are gonna put a little sex appeal on what we're doing, but y'all standing behind no, it's theater, no, it's not that, is that. Well, I mean, it is a little bit of sex
overall. That could be the inverse approach to the whole concept. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Lottie. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say, but it's sexy what I'm doing is sexy for me. The fact that you happen to like it is cool, but I'm not doing, my goal is not, oh, I'm, or maybe sometimes my goal, I'm about to slow burn this bad boy. I'm about to turn everybody, there will not be a dry pair of panties in the house when I'm done. That may be my goal for today.
Okay.
However, today may also be, I'm about to have somebody pee on themselves because they laughing so hard at what I'm about to do.
And you also have strippers that do that. And like you said, your goal sometimes, like you said, different spots do different things. Like the one I went to, they passed the bucket. What's the difference in passing the bucket and throwing money? What's the difference?
Some places do have some. It depends on the law. It's all about it's all about the law. In some places, they do throw money because of the laws, and
So
because some places are regulated by they're regulated by strip club laws, then they can only throw money.
Well, the street term
Other
for that is
places
make
are
it rain.
regulated.
So they're allowed to make it rain on you.
No, not.
Depends on where I am.
Okay.
Depends on the venue.
That's called a
It
strip.
depends on where you are.
Now,
But, now I'm going to say this. There is. Let me go back. Yes, that is. You are. Yes, technically, I would be called a stripper. Now, when we talk about strippers and the history of strippers and stripping, strippers started out as burlesque performers.
Absolutely. I do know
And
that.
they were regulated. Many of them, the blue laws were regulated to the point where the club owners were like, it doesn't pay enough to even bother with burlesque, to even bother with having y'all have costumes. So how about this? The laws are written this way, so since I can't let you be seen taking off clothes, how about you just come out without clothes? That's where it came from.
Who was the first woman to ever do that? Who was the first stripper? Like, anybody know?
It was Eve. She stripped in the garden.
Boom.
It was not Eve.
See, there's a different aspect to it historically, too, because you all are more focused on the sex aspect, the female body aspect, but actually the history behind burlesque is that it was theater. When you went to the Cotton Club, burlesque. When you went to the New York Historical Webster Hall, burlesque. It was no distinction between burlesque and then theater. Burlesque is theater.
What about
That's
the famous Ace of Spades?
The famous Ace of Spades is not burlesque.
theater.
I'm sorry, but it's not the same thing.
But some of them strippers may take the same mentality you guys have. Like the caller just said that sometimes I go on stage for me. I sell sex for myself.
And there's a lot of strippers that strip for
and some of the
themselves.
strippers do the same thing. And it's
Yes.
like I'm doing this for me.
And
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
her choice. That's her choice, her choice, her choice, her choice. Me, myself, personally, I don't take that choice. Mine is theater. I'm trained. That's what I do on that stage.
Now, since we discussing the differences, and I appreciate you guys definitely opening our minds to the differences in traditional burlesque versus contemporary stripping, I do have to ask, by us towing that line, though, aren't there some similarities in regard to things like you guys having obsessed fans or stalkers or, things like that?
There's similarities like there would be for Beyonce or Taylor Swift, who just won a lawsuit because a guy came up and groped her. Anytime you're on a stage,
She won $1.
there's a risk. There may be stalkers. You may be a singer. There are males. Drake just won a lawsuit against somebody who just showed up at his house. Anytime you're in the limelight, you're at risk for super fans.
Okay, because I remember that happened to Kool-Aid. A dude groped him while he was
See
on
what
stage.
I'm saying,
Yeah.
Kool-Aid? You shouldn't have went there with the gloves. See, your blue shirt enticed him. See
We
what
was
I
there,
mean?
dude.
You
He was
can't-
on stage. Dude just walked right up, grabbed him, and then before he even took the dude hand off, he said, "What you doing?" And we like, man, to get his hand off first, but
See?
he just kept talking, and we don't.
You were on that stage. I believe it.
So, but okay, y'all say it's in the same vein as Beyonce or whomever. But I'm asking y'all to keep it real. Like, is it like Players Club where y'all done left the theater or the showroom, and there's people trying to catch y'all going to the cars and things like that? Do y'all encounter these same types of things when you're doing the more risque burlesque?
That has happened in the history of burlesque. Absolutely.
Has it happened to you two individually?
It has not happened to me. Has it happened to you, Lottie?
I haven't had any super fans, but again, we generally, again, we've been women our whole lives, so this is nothing new. We've had people follow us. We've had dudes yelling down the street at me. We're not new to womanhood, so we go in packs. We walk each other to the car. Somebody got a taser. Somebody got a stun gun. We know what we're doing. Super fans happen, but it's a lot of it is how you handle it, and again, based on our audience. For the most part, if the super fans or the kind of the creepy dude that maybe started to follow me, usually is just an awkward dude or high functioning autistic, and they don't understand that what they're doing is not okay.
Wow. Okay, so now I got another question. What's the career potential for burlesque dancers as far as earning power? Is it just about your hustle, or is there a certain path you can follow where, like, is there millions to be made individually? Like, what's the, or is it just the sky is the limit depending on your hustle? What avenues do you take? Do you end up in films possibly? Because there are movies made about these types of things. What's the career potential for burlesque outside of, the shows that you guys do? And like, we know for us as comedians, it's so many levels. But for you guys, where do you, like, we see where you guys have started and where you've grown to, but what do you guys aspire to be, and what's the career potential?
It is very much an individual thing, much like it would be for a comedian or for a singer. What you decide to do with your talent is what you decide to do with your talent. There are many who went on to movies, like you said, went on to television, went on to, like, Hazel Honeysuckle was just on one of the crime television shows. It just depends on the person, and it depends on what your angle is inside the industry in terms of what you present on that stage. Like, a lot of people really love the classic form of burlesque with the big feather fans and things like that. A lot of people really love the neo.
Do those shows, would you say those shows make more money the more classic? Because to me that seems like more the production.
I would definitely.
So they do make more money.
I would say that. It depends though, because
Nerdlesque is killing it.
Yeah, I just
what,
did
say
Nerdlesque in New York.
What is it called?
Nerdlesque.
Nerdlesque.
It's all about pop culture, all about nerdy things.
Nerdlesque.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I have a Princess Tiana act, and
now you say you've done it.
I have. Yeah, I'm Princess Tiana, and I do that act because.
And Lottie, have you done it?
Female entrepreneur.
I love. Yeah, I do. I got Nerdlesque, and my Twerking in the Rain is Nerdlesque number.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now is that
you still do twerking in the rain?
I do occasionally if I get, it's a signature piece, so if someone requests it, I'll do it, but they usually have to request it.
You ain't learned yet. You already lost your job. You better stop.
We'll have to, y'all need to come to a show. How about that? That's what needs to happen.
Yeah, why don't you come to a show?
Why don't y'all have one?
My next show it's August 26th.
Oh, damn. You know what?
It's Poetic Flowetry. It's a show that
Flowetry not gonna be there?
some kind of flowetry will be there. But it's a show, and it's all over my social media. And then after that,
what day? 26th. That's on a Saturday.
This coming Sunday, I'm in Chicago, so you could always come out to Chicago. Then I'm back here, and then there's one on the 27th as well.
Chicago and Davis?
No, not Chicago and Davis. And then there's one Michigan Burlesque Festival, which I'm also in, September 15th.
Lottie, when will you be here?
So there's a lot of them.
I'm not. I probably won't be home for a minute, but I've got a show this Saturday in Richmond.
Yeah, really can't make that one. Really can't make that one.
Yeah.
No,
well, I mean, you have listeners nationwide.
It'll be worth it, though. She's worth it.
No, I'm sure.
Yeah, the Smoky Mountain Burlesque Festival, September 15th.
I've seen her in person outside of burlesque. She is definitely worth every view, every dime she makes.
Absolutely.
Let me just make it official. Yeah. She can get this work if I wasn't married. But
you said the same thing to Keith Washington.
If
I love you.
Oh, she more than straight. She more than
Pull up a
straight.
picture of it. Let's see it. Yeah, let's see the picture. Let's see
more
old
than
Lottie the body.
See old laddie daddy.
Twerking tweeting.
Old Lottie retarded.
Yeah. Pull up that picture.
Yeah. Yeah,
Old
legit,
laddie Maserati.
if you pull up Lottie Ellington, you pull up the twerking. If you pull up hashtag twerking teacher, that comes in. That pops up too. If you pull up I stand with Lottie as a hashtag, all my stuff comes up also.
So you like the Martin Luther King of the twerk.
I'd like to consider myself to be more like the Malcolm X of twerking, but
Okay.
Okay,
I
there you
feel
go
you.
then. There you
Now
go
you
dope.
see
then.
her.
That's
Is
dope.
she lovely?
Oh yeah, she can. Yeah.
Yeah, let me see the. Let me see the picture. Let
Okay.
me see the picture. Yes, let me see the picture. She can definitely get it. Yes. No,
We
very,
want-
very, very
hey,
pretty. Very pretty.
Hey, all three of us want to book you for a show here. Next
It's
month.
called Buster Burst.
I have car, will travel. Just book me. Hey, I love coming home.
Man. All right, we gotta go, man. Yeah.
These guys have lost it.
They just
All
feel
over
they just
burlesque,
as silly as
but
they
it's a
want to
good
be.
thing. It's a good thing.
Well, no, you got to understand something. You guys have clarified something for us because you guys do understand how many people believe that burlesque was the underlying theme of burlesque was essentially to sell sex, and that's what Kool-Aid and Melvin. That's what their argument was all night. But you guys are saying it goes beyond that because essentially there are instances during a burlesque performance where sex isn't even a part of
On
the
your
act per
mind.
se.
There's many
Yeah.
that it's not.
Well, then why? Okay, if that's the case, then why is most of the advertisements and things that people see in mainstream media regarding burlesque? Why is it that? You know, not even that y'all butt naked. I mean, even like like you said, the feathers and thighs hanging out. You know what I mean? Even like the Rockettes almost. Even if y'all like that, that's still kind of selling. The Rockettes show. Even not equating it to you guys, but that's the girls kicking their legs.
Is a good parallel.
No, the Rocket don't twerk.
The
They ain't
Rockettes-
teaching.
That
They
you
don't
know.
twerk.
Rockettes do movement. Even Dance Theater Harlem twerks now. So, and
Thank
that
you.
is theater.
Alvin
The-
Ailey, you talking about?
Yeah.
They twerk.
Yes.
My wife trying to get
You
me to
know
go to
why?
that, too. I
Because
think
you
I'm
know
gonna
what
go now.
twerking is and where it derives from? African
African
dance.
dance. That's right.
It's nothing to be ashamed of to move your body. It may be something they want us
Like
to be
the lie
ashamed
did.
of or feel like it's ghetto or it's this or it's that. But it's nothing wrong with African dance, and that's what twerk is. But to answer your question, the other half of your question, it would be the same reason why on a billboard or a McDonald's commercial you see the woman going like this. It's the same thing. The
Sex
woman
sells.
is fully clothed.
So that he telling you
It-
sex sells.
Yeah,
that's what it
No,
means.
what I'm telling you
No,
is
they're
hold
saying- they're
on.
saying
Let
a
me finish.
percentage of
Let me
their-
finish my
I'm sorry,
thought.
go ahead.
What I'm saying is a woman's body is perceived sexually by a man no matter what she is doing.
Right.
Okay, well, I'm about to drink this
yeah.
water. Then. Hold on.
Let's see.
I'm
A
just
bunch
drinking-
of
I'm
men
just
not
drinking
going to
water. I'm
tune
just
into you
drinking water.
doing it though.
I'm just drinking
But if
water.
I did this, suddenly it's sexual because you all think that is sexual.
But that's sexual what I'm
You
doing?
did it because you know that we think it's sexual. You don't drink water.
No,
like
no.
that
Okay,
normal.
wait, no.
You know
Let me. I got
I
an
was
example right
looking
here.
at his drinking water. You,
I got an example right here.
We ain't there though.
I work in retail.
Uh-huh.
At my job, I'm required to mark the 20s to make sure that they are legit. I had a dude come in. Now, I put eyebrows on my 20 because I'm goofy. So I had a dude come in, and I marked his 20, and this fool said, "Yeah, girl, that look good. The way you mark them eyebrows, that's sexy. The way you mark them 20s." There's nothing sexy about me putting eyebrows on the $20 bill. But that's where he is. I don't have no control over the fact that he thinks it's sexy that I put eyebrows on my $20 bills. So when you talk about sex and people, we're doing things. If you thinking sex, you gonna think sex. I don't have nothing to do with that. Me marking the $20 bill is not sexy at all. But if that's where your mind is, that's where you're gonna take it.
Y'all mind is just there like ours.
But you being on that might not have been sexy, but you being on stage dancing in your costume or whatever, it's sexy. And y'all not acknowledging that, and that's my beef with y'all right now. Y'all not
mean,
acknowledging the sexy part of
yeah,
y'all
okay.
show. Y'all just saying my show is
I'm
for.
sexy.
Yeah,
I'm
you may be
sexy.
sexy, but your show is
Sometimes
your
I'm
show
sexy.
sexy?
Me too.
Is your show sexy?
Sometimes.
Yeah, Melvin, you are pretty
Let
sexy.
me tell you this. See how
When
we said,
am I sexy when I'm dressed like a clown?
Okay, first of all, you
Not
lower your
much.
voice.
Am I,
but
Yeah, well, yes.
you see
Lottie,
how
you are a
see,
very sexy clown.
do you see the
Big red
difference
shoes
though?
and all. Yes.
When a woman says, "This is my thought. This is what I'm doing with my body," all three of you men are saying, "No, it's not. You're not. I got beef. You're not this. You're not that." You can't tell me what I am.
Okay,
You
well
can't tell
let me
what
say
I am.
let me say this to Lottie.
I agree with
Let me
that.
say this to
You're hiding behind.
Lottie.
I
I'm
agree
sorry.
with
What's
that.
your name again?
My name is the
D.
irresistible O. Call me O.
Hey, okay. Oh, and Lottie. Now, with the next burlesque show, this is what I want y'all to do. Since we all looking at y'all a certain way, woo, woo, woo. Now, when you get up out the bed, stay like that. Go to work. Go to the show. Do the burlesque show just like that. Hair, no makeup, house shoes, whatever you slept in, just like that. Will you do it? Because why do you got to make up and do all the heels and do all the stuff that you know gonna turn men on that's selling sex? Why y'all keep saying it's not that?
That's like saying,
Okay, you going in your
nobody
pajamas?
is saying
That's
there's no sex. Let me say this. Wait, hold on. Watch this. Challenge accepted. I will do a number full out, no hair, no makeup. Now, the reason I do hair and makeup, again, is to protect my identity so that I can have a job.
I got you. I
Because
understand
I
that
like
part.
to eat. But I will accept that challenge. Now, this is my challenge to you. Once this number is completed, when I tell you where it is, you need to be there.
You know what? Martez the Kool-Aid gonna be there. You know what? No, if it ain't too far, we're coming. You know what? Forget it. I'm gonna accept the challenge back. Since I'm up here running my mouth, we are on the way. We got to book some comedy that
How
way.
about this? So my response to that is, first of all, I woke up like this. Secondly, you can't tell me what to do with my body.
You woke up with glitter on your
I
eyeballs.
sure
Are you
did,
seriously
and
gonna
I
tell
go
me
to
that?
sleep with
Are
lip
you-
gloss on
are you
my
ser-
face. Yes,
Are you
honey.
seriously finna tell me?
I am.
He don't go to bed like that.
You
And
woke up with the
third-
flower
With
in
the
your
glove.
Third, I don't have to do what you say. I don't have to
No,
take
you
your
don't.
challenge. I don't have to do anything with
Oh
my
no,
body.
you didn't, I didn't
ladies,
say. I didn't.
We're not trying
I'm
to.
just saying to show you the difference in the thought pattern.
Well, you know what? You guys have already acknowledged that a portion of the burlesque entertainment world is geared toward not necessarily the selling of sex, but the sensuality and sexuality is underlying.
They would not
thing.
say that. They would not say.
No, they
that.
said that earlier. That a portion of it.
It's about female power.
They saying the difference between it but you,
and female.
Is any
sexuality,
portion of it
power
selling
in that.
sex? They are dead. They never said
or is
that.
it-
They're not gonna say it.
you guys did acknowledge, correct me if I'm wrong, that a portion of the performances, a percentage of the performances is sexually driven, be it underlying or otherwise, right?
They didn't say that.
I'm not gonna say that. Watch.
Come on, oh.
Come on, O.
We
Woke up with the glitter on your
We
face,
didn't
oh.
say, come on, glitter eyeballs.
Come on, gloves on. Probably committed a crime.
And that's for
It
Lottie
is
and O.
about encompassing.
Told you. Look.
your
Hold on.
own-
Wait a minute.
Okay,
Let Lottie
Donald
speak, 'cause
Trump.
I think
Okay.
Lottie.
Go
What
ahead,
you're trying to do is
Lottie
absolute.
Dottie.
Lottie.
Yeah, you're trying to do absolutes, and it's not absolute, and that's the thing. It is so this art is so dynamic that
And
I can't
diverse.
say that it's sex that when I get up there on the stage it's sex, because again, there are times when what I'm doing is not sexy. My Asada Shakur number is not sexy at all. There's no sex involved in that. It's not meant to turn you on. It's meant
No,
to make you think.
understand. We're not
It's make-
doing
and it makes people cry.
absolutes. We're not doing absolutes
So-
as you say to be condescending.
So
See, I think a big misconception about what the angle we're coming from. Don't encapsulate us with all men. Like we're first of all, we sitting here right now. We have three different perspectives on it. I tend to agree with you guys because we're all artists, so I understand the artist element of it. Like as comedians, there are those of us who get more raunchy. There are those of us who are more witty, and then there are those of us who are completely clean. But unfortunately, we all get lumped together. But if you ask us as comedians, like let's say if you ask a clean comedian, do you think some of these guys get too raunchy? The clean comedian is going to say, yeah, I think they do. If you ask the raunchy guy, do you think a lot of guys who are clean comedians aren't the greatest or aren't that funny? They're going to say, yeah, I do, because some people who are scared to get out here and be a comedian for real and entertain the world, they'll hide in church and doing clean comedy. And we know this because we do a lot of clean shows with those guys. So they'll put on a wig and just do church jokes, actual church jokes.
Who you talking about?
Ezekiel so-and-so says this and so-and-so says that. And outside of that, they're not that funny because they haven't gotten out in the world and became a real comedian who happens to perform in church. We would give those opinions or percentage numbers based on our own opinion if we could. We're just asking you guys, and not being biased, we're just asking you guys if in fact you feel that a percentage of burlesque performances, albeit a small percentage, have an underlying theme of something sensual. Let's not even say sexual, sensual.
He said all that to say y'all lying.
The answer is
half an hour. Y'all saying y'all lying.
the answer is that is not impossible.
You know what?
Don't accept you. You accept that I'm punching you. If you accept it, you better move. Then you better go over there. I'm about to hit you. I'm about to commit a crime on
Only
camera.
because Melvin broke his hand knocking the dude out. Show him the pictures, baby. No, Melvin did punch a dude and broke his hand.
Because he kept talking about they didn't sell burlesque. As said, I said, you know what, you gonna sell it then. He kept trying to go back and forth. I hit him. That's what it was.
No, but
they ain't gonna say it to us. Just let it go.
And then again, ladies, we're not trying to be condescending toward the art form. We actually,
by no means,
we actually appreciate everything. I just think, and maybe I'm sorry, you guys probably right in the sense of what men look for, because I do find sensuality and I'm drawn to women. Look, it's 3 beautiful women in here. One ain't said nothing to us all night, but our energy is going in that direction because she nice looking.
Now mine over here with it.
Okay, but y'all got to understand that just because a man's energy is drawn that way, and y'all have ran into some weirdos, that don't excuse the fact that I've seen some burlesque where the woman sit on the man's lap and tickle him with the feather, and that's sexual. Like regardless of what you want to call it, that aspect is sexual.
That's a good point. So is that funny or sexy?
Depends on
if you
what
sit on my lap.
angle is,
If you sit on my lap. If you sit on my lap and tickle me with a feather, it's gonna be a dent in your thigh. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
It's a nice discussion. I'm enjoying it. I'm thankful to be here.
No,
we're glad you're here. We really do. Now I go to burlesque shows. Now, believe it or not, I do.
He does.
I do.
All this time, and you go to
no, but here's the thing. When I went, it was I forget. Whatever the little nice restaurant downtown got to stay. It was sold out. It was sold out the whole weekend. My girl had bought tickets for it. They placed you in the seat, and it wasn't that cheap either. So it was a sold out show. Good. Now here's the thing: they went down to the pasties. Mm-hmm. They do the feather thing. They take off the gloves and all that. Then they cover up, and then they may do the pasties for like a quick 3 seconds or something. But they show you. But they showed their body, and it was about. They did one. The lady was like kind of like the dominatrix. She came out the back. She had the stuff on, but it was still burlesque. But that was probably the only one that actually got me to turn me on because she came out aggressive. I like the whip smacking me around, and kicking me in the face.
Melvin,
no, that's what I want. Yeah, but so it's a difference. But what I'm saying, everyone that I seen, now there was a funny one. There was a young lady who did a funny one. Mm-hmm. I think she was like the I forgot her name, but she's like a big one in Michigan, and she did a funny one. And then the rest was like more geared towards sex. So I get what you guys are saying, but you cannot just not say it doesn't gear toward that.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Prime Time Talk with the fellas on the On The Go radio station. Shout out to all the listeners. Shout out to everybody watching us in the live Facebook feed and YouTube stream. Kelly Greaves, who's watching us on Facebook Live, she said, it's about the tease, the anticipation and audience response interaction. The original definition of burlesque in the 17th century was quote unquote parody. Think about the player scene in season 6 of Game of Thrones. That would mean we had to have watched Game of Thrones. The performance that Arya watched, when introduced in America, it became more of a striptease and has a strong connection to vaudeville and comedy.
Everything I said.
No, you did say that, but why are you just not? Why are you saying it's not selling sexuality?
Another comment. Hold on, real quick. Okay. I'm sorry. Another comment just popped up from Kelly. It says it's sexual but not blatant. She sat on his lap as opposed to grinding on his lap. It's about subtlety and imagination. Yeah, but you're saying, like, and I don't know if you're a burlesque performer, Kelly. You're saying it's sexual, but the young ladies we're speaking to aren't saying it's sexual. Now, I've resigned. I digress. You know
But
what I mean?
that's not what she's like. If you, from everything that she said,
Jesus.
you took it sexual.
All they want is for
No,
us
no,
to
no,
tell
no.
them that it's
Listen,
something
I'm
sexual.
no,
and
listen. I'm
the
telling
thing
her,
is,
I didn't take
it's
that.
deeper than that. It's bigger than that.
Hold on, one second.
What
Lottie.
I do is
I didn't.
sexual.
One second, Lottie. I didn't take that she said it was sexual. I'm saying, I'm telling her. I'm talking to Kelly. I'm saying, the professionals here, you guys, are saying it's not. I'm not just backing her point up. I'm saying I don't know if she's one to say that. You dig what I'm saying? Like,
I hear you.
you guys are saying it's not. So if you guys are the professional and she may not be, I'm inclined to agree with y'all. Now, if she is one, which let us know,
She
Kelly.
might
have
be,
you
and
been
that might be
involved
her
or,
perspective.
You know, yeah. I'm sorry to cut you off, Lottie. Go ahead with your statement.
I got all excited. I forgot what I was going to say.
We got you excited.
No,
Like,
we
did
sexual.
that.
Yeah.
Hey, but we weren't trying to do that. We were doing comedy and other stuff. We weren't trying to get
That's
you
all we was
excited.
doing.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Anyway. Oh, there
No,
was
go ahead.
I think that
You
was
still got your picture up too, Lottie.
Oh,
keep your hands over the table.
So keep your hands on the table. I just felt some glitter gloves on me. That's all I'm gonna say. But she can't see what you got on, so she don't know. Let's just say your friend is up here with glitter eyeballs and glitter
She
gloves.
might be streaming.
You streaming us, or you listening?
Burly glam and represent it.
You said
I had the
girly
reference.
glam,
Burly.
Yeah.
burly
I wanna let
glam.
you know
Burly
that-
glam.
Okay, burly glam.
Yeah.
So is that meant to just be glam, or is that meant to be sexy?
Glam.
Glam. So nothing about you right now says sexy.
Everything about me says that
Say
I
it.
love my body.
Say it.
And that
Say
I
it. You
use
just
my
won't
body and adore my body. And I personally feel like everything I do,
Is
it's beautiful for my body.
you know what? Get out.
Well, no.
No, seriously.
We love you all.
No, we love y'all to death. We
Tears are scared of
seriously,
y'all.
enjoyed having y'all on with us today. We appreciate y'all coming out and giving us the actual facts regarding burlesque dancing. Tell everybody where you're going to be real soon. If you don't mind, if you have any shows coming up, and tell them where, give them addresses if you got them and things, and your contact information.
Okay. I am the Irresistible O across all social media. All social media. My email is theirresistibleo@gmail.com. That is the way to contact me. Or you can inbox me on my The Irresistible O Facebook page or Instagram page, or whichever one you utilize the most. So across all social media, The Irresistible O. The next show is the 20th, next Sunday in Chicago at Lynx Hall. It's called Skin Improvisation, because I am your 2017 Michigan Burley Picks Master of Improv. And then I'm back here for 2 shows, one on the 26th, one on the 27th. And then those are called Poetic Floetry. And then Michigan Burlesque Festival, which is in September.
Okay, so y'all heard her. She opening up for Floetry, doing
Comedy.
Are you sexy?
I'm my best.
Lottie, if you
I'm
don't
lovely.
mind, Lottie, share your social media information, and also tell us if you got any shows or anything coming up.
All right. Well, again, Lottie Ellington on all social media platforms, LottieEllington.com. You can just follow me on any of the platforms. My next show is September 8th and September 9th. It's Butchertown, which is live burlesque done to live jazz music. That's going to be at the Theater Lab in Richmond, Virginia, and then at the Southern in Charlottesville, Virginia. After that, I'm in the Smoky Mountain Burlesque Festival, which is in Tennessee.
I'm assuming that's in Smoky Mountain, right?
Pardon?
That's in Smoky Mountain, right, Tennessee?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, do everybody a favor and spell out your social media information. Spell out your name so people will know the exact spelling of it.
Lottie ELLINGTON. That's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Now, Instagram, it would be no spaces. There's no underscores or dashes or anything like that, right?
Nope, just Lottie Ellington.
All together.
Man.
Yep.
Listen, man, I got an IT background, and you'll be surprised how much business people have lost for missing a dash, underscore.
A comma.
So, yeah, there you go. So I'm just making sure. Also, we want to acknowledge our guests from earlier, the beautiful Miss Portia from the Pole Fitness Studio 88. We want to give that information again. You can contact her at 248-991-7436 or go to studio88polefitness.net. That's STUDIO 88. The number's 88 POLEFITNESS.net. We want to thank all of our guests, the beautiful Miss Portia, my girl Lottie Ellington, and the irresistible O. Thank you guys for making this a wonderful show. Fellas, y'all got anything y'all want to say to the people before we get out of here?
Yeah, you sexy, even though you ain't trying to be. And you sexy too, and I'm pretty sure you sexy on the phone. And thank y'all for coming to kick it with us.
Melvin, take us home, baby.
All right, man. Tune in next week, man. We're going to be doing this is what we do. We ignorant. We the fellas, man. We've been boys for years, so we're going to keep it 100. No matter who on the show, if you're sexy or not, it is what it is. And follow Busto Bursk is coming at you. Boom. We out of here.